everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, 6 Secrets to Shine When Public Speaking. And I know we've all attended seminars, conferences, workshops, where there's been those speakers that have absolutely excelled. They've engaged us, they've informed us, and they've influenced us to change, to do something differently. Equally, we've heard those speakers, trainers, or facilitators that have been, frankly, boring, non-interesting. We haven't been engaged with the audience, and we've often thought, well, what was that about? So what are some tips that you can do to make sure that you shine and you excel every time you get before a group of people? So Peter Dew is my name. I'm a public speaking trainer and coach, and my passion is helping people like yourselves be effective, confident, and influential every time you stand up to speak. Let's get started. I, as a professional speaker, not only speak at conferences, but I always attend a lot of conferences, professional development seminars, watch people speak, and I can't help it, but my analytical hat goes on. And there's those speakers where I just walk out and think, wow, and those that don't. So I've analysed over a period of 10 years what I think makes speakers really tick, really excel, really shine. And I'm going to share those with you today. First thing is, as always, ask questions, send me an email, take notes. This video, this webinar is being recorded. And what I like people to do is to either think forward or think backwards. Think forward to something you've got coming up in an event. Is there anything from this 30-minute webinar that you can use, you can include, that'll take your presentation to the next step? Looking back at a recent presentation you've done, is there anything you will now change or you would have changed as a result of what you've learned today? I think it's really important that when you attend a seminar, a webinar like this, you try and walk away with at least 1 or 2, what to do next. What can I use from Peter's webinar to make my presentation more engaging, more effective, and me as a speaker, trainer, or facilitator shine? That means you as a facilitator shine. Tip number 1. Know your audience. The speakers that I admire seem to know their audience, and they use the right language. They use the right stories. They talk about the aspect of their life as a speaker that helps them connect with that audience. They always seem to know the venue. They arrive early. They're making friends with the audio-visual person to make sure everything's working. They know how to control the lighting or the temperature. They're not saying, does anyone know where the lighting switches are? Or it's getting a bit hot. Can anyone turn down the air conditioning? They've got all of that under control. And their ownership of the room is seamless. They know their topic really well. So think of the topic that you're going to be speaking on. What questions might you be asked? Do you have answers for them? And if you don't have the answer, do you know where to get the answer? Because none of us can know everything. And it's the ability to know where to find the answer for those difficult questions that will help you excel with the audience. Know the issues and the emotions around your topic. So are you delivering good news? Are you delivering bad news? Are you talking about a change in policy that's going to require a little bit more work. A new software system that someone like me, being older, is going to say, oh no, not another software thing I have to learn. I struggle learning computer software. I struggle learning new systems. Why can't it be the same? Knowing the emotions that your audience are going to bring allows you to better engage them and better deal with their concerns, their objections, and their difficult questions. The metaphor I use with preparation is walk 30 moons in your enemy's moccasins. This is a native North American saying, and it's about before going to war. Walk 30 moons in your enemy's moccasins before you go to war. Walk in your audience's footsteps before you speak to them. What are their questions going to be? What do they want from you? What are their objections? Are you delivering good news? Are you delivering bad news? Are you downsizing, resizing, right-sizing? Are you defunding, decreasing funding? Those aspects that you've prepared will help you better engage and interact with your audience. I myself sometimes do a pre-workshop, a pre-seminar survey. I'm running a workshop on how to be more influential. What's 3 things that would be valuable to you in the area of influence and persuasion? What areas do you find it difficult to bring people along with you when you're trying to change or do something different? And the responses just help me be prepared before I walk on stage. So one of the things I've noticed and observed in those exceptional speakers, those speakers who shine, is they do remarkable preparation. The second thing that I've observed is that they speak conversationally and generally without notes. Now, conversationally is like having a one-on-one chat. So you're at morning tea, just having a coffee. You're with friends at the cafe. You're walking down the corridor and just having a chat. That conversational style is what you need to bring to the platform. So one of the myths or the mistakes that people make is because they stand on stage in front of 200 people, they feel they now need to change. So they stand upright, they put a plum in their mouth and start to enunciate their words more deliberately, maybe lowering their voice, trying to be more of a radio style speaker. But that's not really me. That's not really you. That's a little bit fake. And the audiences will pick a fake. They will pick a performance over someone who's genuinely, authentically there having a conversation, sharing their passion with their audiences. Great speakers don't lecture to you. They don't tell you what to do. They don't tell you how to suck eggs. They don't tell you what's right and what's wrong. Was it for 200 people in the room, they'd probably expect you to respond, but they do expect you to respond in your mind. How would you deal with that situation? Just imagine, put yourself in that circumstance. What would you do? Let me share with you a couple of suggestions that I have. They just have a conversation. And one of the things that weaves all through the traits, the characteristics of great speakers, of those speakers who shine, one of the things that weaves through is authenticity. That means the real person turns up every time. Authenticity means the genuine, everyday you. Who you are on stage in front of 200 people is the same person you are having a cup of coffee, having a beer down the pub. And it's great conversationally because everyone I work with, I ask them, how do you go chatting one-on-one with a friend? Oh, I'm fine with that. Can I ask you to take that one-on-one conversation with a friend, take it on stage in front of 200 people and do exactly the same thing? Have the same conversational style. When I'm attending a seminar and I see those exceptional speakers, those that shine, I always walk out feeling that it was about me, that they've spoken to me, they've helped me. And I've got something to do now. I've got a way forward, or I've got new knowledge. So to shine as a speaker or trainer, put your audience first. Why does the audience care about my message? What's in it for them? What problem am I going to solve? How am I going to help them see light at the end of the tunnel or meet their key performance indicators? And when you tell stories, make the audience the hero so that they walk out. In my case, I walk out after listening to a seminar feeling, I've got this. I now know how to go forward. They empower their audience to make change in their lives, in their communities. So one of the keys to effective, confident public speaking, engaging public speaking, and when you recognize that it's not about you, it's about your audience, the whole public speaking game becomes easier. And this is one of the tips to deal with fear and nerves. People are looking at me, they're judging me. What if they don't like me? What if I muck up? What if I stutter? What if I forget what I want to say? See, all of those thoughts that I just spoke to you are all about me. But this webinar is not about me, it's about you. It's about you. It's about me helping you. And when that happens, you not only become a more engaging and effective speaker, you stop worrying about yourself because it's about your audience. It's not about you. The other thing I notice is that the really engaging speakers who shine and who are effective don't stand behind lecterns, don't stand behind tables. They come out and have that conversation with everyone in the room. And it's scary when you remove a barrier between you and yourself. I mean, the lectern is a protection. I can do a little Irish dance. I can fidget with my hands behind the lectern under the table and nobody knows. I can be doing my ring twiddles or my cracking of the knuckles, all those nervous twitches that we do. I can put them below the table. I can stand behind the lectern. When you come out with no barriers, there's nothing to hide you. And what that means is you see all of me, my bald head, my big nose, my big ears, my pimples, my warts, my imperfections. And that takes courage. And that helps you as a speaker, as a trainer, as a facilitator. That helps you connect and engage with your audience. Some people say, but there's a microphone. I've got my notes on the lectern. Remember, I prefer you not to present with notes. I prefer you to present without notes. And with the microphone, try and grab a lapel microphone or a handheld microphone at least, if there is a lectern. And then you can leave the lectern. You can always go back. You can leave your notes there if you need to refer to them, but come away, stand in the middle of the room, unprotected, no barriers, and have that conversation without notes, without barriers, one-on-one to all the people in the room. It'll really make you shine. Scary, no doubt. Effective, really breaks down the barriers. The other thing I notice with those speakers that really engage and really hit me is that they're passionate and they're excited and they want to be there. Many speakers I see are going through the motions. I have to do an update on this new human resource policy. I've got to talk about a change in procedures. And I've got other things I'd rather be doing. Yeah, look, I look at my watch. I haven't had breakfast yet. Gee, I'm really hungry. I think I'll go and I can't wait to finish this webinar and have breakfast. You can't do that. The saying or the metaphor I use is, at this point in time, there's no place that I would rather be than speaking to you on this webinar today. But sitting down, recording this webinar for other people to view. And my passion around public speaking, being a person who stutters and being unable to speak for so long, I'm passionate about helping people find their voice. That's how you have to rock up every presentation. Maybe you're after lunch and it's the graveyard shift. People want to fall asleep, they've had a meal, the blood's draining from their brain, heading to their stomach to digest their food. And you might think, all right, I'll just go through the motion, I'll get through this as quick as I can. Look, I know most of you have just had lunch and you're feeling a little bit tired, so I'll get through this as quick as I can. It's not really important. I just want you to remember this. Don't do that. Be passionate, be excited, want to be there, want to change lives, want to improve people's ability to do public speaking, want to help them overcome their barriers, want to help people understand around mental ill health, around financial planning, whatever your area of expertise, be passionate about it. Be passionate or get off. That may be a little bit harsh on my point. Be passionate or get off. And tip number 6 that makes people shine. They are congruent with what they're saying. Be passionate or get off. Be aligned and be congruent, or maybe don't share that message. So marketing 101, the first sale of something should be to yourself. If you don't buy what you're saying, if you don't believe in your message, why would anyone else, why would any of those 200 people in the room believe in what you're saying if clearly your conviction is not there? So we say, every message you say, the first sale must be to yourself. Otherwise, your audience will not buy it. There are occasions when you are requested from management, from human resources, to roll out a new policy, to announce a change in procedures. And you might be thinking, well, I don't agree with this. I think this is a stupid idea. But your job as that team leader is to convey that message. Just understand that'll be a very hard sell, because people will pick that you're not authentically aligned with what you're saying. The other thing I notice is that people's actions are aligned with their message. The metaphor we would say is we walk the talk. So as a speaker or a trainer, your topic, your recommendation, what you're speaking on, make sure you live that message. I tell people what you've got to say matters. I help people overcome their fear of public speaking. Myself, as an elective mute, a person who stutters, avoided public speaking all my life, and I still have bad days when I stutter. But I will always say, contribute, put my ideas forward when something needs to be said, even with my fear and my self-doubt and my stutter. If I tell everyone, hey, overcome your fear and what you have to say matters, and just get up there in public speak, and in the meantime I hide in my own life, then I'll be seen as a fake. The time management guru. I'm going to show you how to save 30 minutes a day, how to be efficient, how to be effective. And I go 10 minutes over on this webinar, or I start 10 minutes late, the seminar 10 minutes late. Oh, sorry about that, traffic was bad. Right, let me talk to you about time management. Yeah. The great speakers who shine, their actions, their beliefs are 100% aligned with what they're telling, what they're sharing. And a bonus tip. I noticed that those speakers who shine have a clear purpose of what they want their audience to do and why it matters to them. So they put the audience first. They're clear of the outcomes. What do you want to do? What do you want to know? What do you want to feel after I've spoken? Their messages can't be misinterpreted. The less engaging speakers, the less effective speakers do a thing called scattergun, also called spray and pray, where they give you lots of information and you walk away and you think, well, I'm not quite sure what that was about. Those speakers who shine, when I leave the seminar, I'm absolutely clear on what they said. That one unequivocal message. Are you clear on what your message is every time you speak or get before an audience? Purpose-driven conversation. Along with, they do exceptional preparation. They speak conversationally. They don't worry about notes. They put the audience first. It's about the audience. It's about the audience. It's not about me. They come away from the lectern, remove the barriers and have those conversations. They're passionate, excited, and they want to be there. They want to be before you. Does that mean the nerves go away? Not necessarily. And they're 100% aligned, 100% congruent with their message. And weaving all the way through this is the great speakers are authentic and genuine. What can you do just to elevate yourself from a good trainer, from a good speaker, to a great, engaging, a speaker who shines? Next webinar, 23rd of November, 5 things to do before every presentation. One of the things that makes great speakers shine is their preparation. Here's a deeper dive into some of the preparation that I do, that you could possibly do, that'll just take your presentation to the next level. I've got some workshops coming up, winning presentation skills in Port Hedland, thinking and speaking off the cuff in Perth, and thinking and speaking off the cuff in Port Hedland coming up in 2023, February, and a couple in November and December in Perth and Port Hedland. If you know of anyone who may be interested, please share it. You know how to contact me? I'd be really grateful for any comments, any feedback, any further questions you may have. Thank you for your attention. What are you going to do to make you a speaker who shines? Do you need to do more preparation and know your audience? Do you need to speak more of a conversation, less of a lecture? You're going to focus on the audience and shift the focus away from you and solve their problems. Leave the lectern, have a conversation, be excited and passionate. There's no place I'd rather be than right here now. And have conviction in your own message. This is Peter Dew, public speaking trainer and coach, wishing you every success on your public speaking journey.